This realm is truly beginning to thrive.
So, you have this whole pad all to yourself? That's impressive. You could raise probably 10 saurians here. I'd like to take a look around, see what you've done with this place. Maybe I'll pick up a thing or two about furnishing and decorating. Wow, I like how you've arranged some of your furnishings. It's fun and practical. I'm actually thinking about redecorating my own yard at the moment. You don't charge tuition fees, right? Teach you something, huh? Let me think. I think I'd be hard-pressed to teach a seasoned adventurer like you any new tricks. But if I had to pick something... Okay, try this hand gesture. Yep, it might look simple, but the angle and the frequency of repetitions are key. Not too fast, not too slow. Just calm and gentle, with a sense of rhythm. That way, they can feel your energy. If you get it right, you'll have cats, dogs, and saurians coming up to say hi to you. They see it as a sign of friendship. Useful little trick, huh? I wouldn't recommend it. Maybe for smaller animals, but with most saurians, whistling can anger them. Saurians can have big egos, and they're pretty intelligent creatures too. They won't appreciate being controlled or condescended to. Fundamentally, dealing with saurians is no different from dealing with people. Honesty and respect goes a long way.
Hello. Does the time here pass the same way it does in the outside world? Not sure if I should be saying good morning or good evening. I can't think of anything. Is there anything you recommend? In that case, maybe you'd like to try out phlogiston engraving. It sounds more serious than it is. Basically, it involves painting patterns which can be activated to generate different effects, using either phlogiston or elemental energy. If we're not looking for a specific effect, we can make it even simpler by drawing random graffiti art and letting the rest happen naturally. For instance, drawing Paimon on the back of your hand might trigger extreme hunger for a little while. It all comes down to the pattern itself and the formula of the paint. You mean some kind of sport or physical activity? We could race each other. Never underestimate yourself. If you're not feeling confident enough, I can show you how to make graffiti smoke bombs. That way it's a fair contest. Oh, you're right. This place feels so much like home. I almost forgot I'm still a guest. Sorry about that. In that case, we'll have to settle for a good old-fashioned race. Fine by me, though. It's exercise either way. Sure. How about a combination of the two? In other words, doing graffiti while racing. Yes. Based on your reaction, you're hoping it was a joke, right? So, yeah, it was a joke. Of course. And anyway, I'm the one who should be thanking you. I don't get to visit friends' places very often, so I really appreciate you inviting me here. Thank you. Next time, I'll even bring along my prized radish. It's a big one.
Hello there. So this is where you live. Mind if I take a quick stroll around? You know me. I like to keep moving. I like to meditate sometimes. I learned it from the masters of the Night Wind. It's a nice mental workout. The best answer to that is a story. Many, many years ago, there lived a great warrior in the Collective of Plenty. He loved to train and loved showing off his strength even more. He started with weightlifting competitions. Then, he progressed to wrestling to tonkasaurs. And finally, he challenged a long-necked rhino. To everyone's surprise, he bested every challenge. People recognized him as the strongest warrior in Natlan, but he still wasn't satisfied. So, he came up with a crazy plan. Pushing a giant boulder up the sacred volcano and using it to seal off the crater, proving him capable of besting the might of Tolan in the process. He stopped at nothing to accomplish his goal, including ingesting dangerous medications. Finally, he made an attempt and began pushing a mountain-sized boulder up the slope of the volcano. But just as he made it halfway, the volcano erupted. He lost his footing, and the boulder fell and crushed him to death. Ironically, only a boulder of such enormous size could have bested him. Similarly, only a man of his strength could have placed himself in such a precarious position. In the end, it was his own desire to prove his strength that led to his downfall. So, training isn't just about getting stronger. It's about control and discipline. That's why the mental side of training is so important. It means you're not a slave to your own power. Actually, compared to the newcomers, it's harder for me to keep that desire in check sometimes. There was a time when I really liked pushing my limits. I always wanted to do that one extra push-up or bench press, and every time I got a personal best, I was ecstatic. Now that I look back on it, I feel like that was my own boulder and volcano. So, as a friend, I have a favor to ask. If I ever succumb to that mindless drive again, pull me back, okay? I know you have what it takes. Thank you. Then, let's close our eyes and meditate together. Oh, and don't try and fake it, okay? I can always tell.
This realm is truly beginning to thrive. If you ever have any questions about the realm within, you may ask me. This realm is truly beginning to thrive.
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward.
Lua, can't you just, sneak up behind those monsters with me and BAM! Take them all down? I can act 3 times in a round, and there are only 4 monsters in total. I'll take 3 down. You just gotta handle the last one.
I can draw the monster's attention from the front, but sneak attacks...
Well, there isn't much we can do. Itlua's a Lock Knight who chose the Goblet of Justice.
Indeed. If Itlua were to strike from behind, he would be forced to become an Oathbreaker Knight. A significant penalty would apply to all actions going forward.
Oof, that's not good. If we don't defeat all these monsters in one go, those explosives are going to blow us sky high.
There's another way. I can use Raging Torrent to dash straight into the thick of it, then detonate the explosives.
No, that won't do it all. Your character would get wiped out that way. We finally managed to gather the party and have such a lovely time together. It would be such a shame if you were the only one who got wiped out.
But if we don't do this, the character that you've been playing for so long might get wiped out too, Miss Navia. Wouldn't that be worse?
I only just started playing. Please don't.
Wait, I've got another trick up my sleeve.
Navia, put that crumkake away.
Uh-oh, that move was blocked too.
Pieces on the table, and the stuff you were saying just now. You're playing.
A savior has arrived! Right on time! Quick, come join us! Clorand, this doesn't count as violating the rules, right?
If he's willing to join us. Oh, by the way, we're currently playing on easy mode to accommodate the newcomers.
Traveler, would you like to continue the adventure with us? You definitely would, right?
Oh, come on. Any more questions and those explosives are gonna send us flying.
Good. Since you haven't played a script for a while now, you may have one chance to reselect your skills. The skills you can modify are cooking and medicine. What do you think? Would you like to make any changes? Very well. In that case, you wish to learn the medicine skill, yes? Very well then. Let the game continue. Just when everyone was at their wits' end, a familiar voice rang out from behind them.
Long time no see, everyone. Looks like you need my help.
By the way, what are you doing here? Could it be that you heard our summons?
That kind of makes him sound like a summoned spirit. Well, not that he doesn't fit the part.
Indeed. You have called, and I must answer.
Guess that means I was randomly dragged into this game.
As expected of the veteran player Miss Navia mentioned before, they got into character instantly.
Though the Marachose hunters had much they wished to share with one another, at this moment, the joy of reunion must yield to the crisis at hand. Now then, the combat round continues. You have the first turn. Also, since we have a new member joining us, I'll be adding some dark cards to boost the enemy's various abilities.
The Traveler isn't a sudden addition. He's been traveling with us all along. We've just parted for a short while, that's all. Totally normal.
I've already counted the dark cards. You should start discussing your tactics.
You're so strict, Clorand. Anyway, let's stick to the original strategy. Now that we have the Traveler with us, we have enough people. Itlua and I will hold the line out front against the monster's assault. Yehoda, Traveler, you circle around the back and take them all down in one swoop.
All right, leave it to me. We Masters of Chi get huge damage boosts when attacking from behind. But why are you a doctor? How's a doctor gonna perform a sneak attack?
I've calculated the weight of your medicine box, and yes, that would work. Furthermore, after throwing the medicine box, the highly toxic and anesthetic substances stored inside will be considered as having been thrown at the target as well.
So that's how it is. Oh, these tabletop troop games really are complicated. Oh, you gotta have a lot of imagination.
Coming up with a strategy already, huh? Nice work, Traveler. But let me say one more thing. Itlua, don't go charging in alone this time.
I understand. A Lock Knight's duty is to protect their companions and be their shield. Sorry, I always can't help myself.
Oh, don't worry about it. I can act 3 times in a round, so I'll definitely keep up with you. Just play however you want.
All right, Itlua. We'll be counting on you.
Then I shall use the skill attached to the Lock Knight's shield, Wrath of Righteousness.
The Lock Knight raised their shield, chanting the knight's creed out loud. The monsters were completely captivated by the radiance of justice, and the fearless knight standing within that light. Meanwhile, the 2 companions lying in wait behind the foe seized this opportunity, preparing to launch their attack.
You take the first swing, I'll hit right after.
The Marachose hunter hurled the entire medicine box at the enemy. Though it struck their head with pinpoint accuracy, the box proved far more durable than he had anticipated. The medicine box did not shatter. The medicines inside did mix to create a toxic smoke, but the fumes remained tightly sealed within the box. Not a single wisp escaped.
That didn't work at all. Okay, whatever. The monsters are charging at me anyway. I'll just stand, plant, and blow them away with 4-element strike. Ah! That hurts! Who bit my leg? Huh? Ashru? What are you doing here? Is it this late already? Oh no, oh no! Ugh, I completely forgot the task that Boss Neff asked me to handle! I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I can't play right now! Ashru! Wait for me! Hey, why are you running off so fast?
Well, it seems we'll have to end our game here for today. Navia, put the monster sign back where it was. I saw that. Well, that's quite a long story. If we get the chance, we can sit down and discuss it in detail.
Actually, didn't Itlua say he wanted to invite a colleague to play with us? Since this game's paused anyway, why don't we take this chance to go find him? The more people we have, the more fun we'll have.
Mr. Flint's? Yeah, I'm sure he'll play with us if we go look for him.
Oh, that's perfect. Come on, let's go buy him some gifts first, and then pay him a visit in person.
Traveler, we'll let you know once we're ready.
When the time comes, you have to continue the adventure with us. That's my trusty companion for you. Now, let's go pay Mr. Flint's a visit. What kind of gift should we get him? Hurry up, Brassa!
You know, I've sent quite a few people to the Fortress of Meripede. Since it's a place of second chances, I hope they make the most of it and take the opportunity to redeem themselves. Most important of all, I hope they learn right from wrong and turn away from crime in the future.
Hey! I just knew you would be making an appearance here. As you're the owner of this place, there is one matter on which I would like to inquire your opinion. From what I can see, not only is the environment here quite comfortable, but the security is also beyond reproach. It seems this would be a great place to raise pets. Just so you know, I've already greeted them, politely of course. I refrained from touching them or feeding them anything I had brought with me. Such actions require your permission first, no? Is it because I'm usually dramatic and flamboyant? That could have left you with a rather one-sided impression. If that's the case, I really ought to do a good bit of self-reflection. Anyway, I just want to find a warm, free, and peaceful home for all of my animal assistants. A place where they'll always enjoy care and being lovingly looked after, with no need to worry about food or shelter. To be perfectly honest with you, this is by far the best choice for them that I know of. But I wouldn't want you to feel pressured to take them in or to persuade you using honeyed words. But if you really were willing to take them in of your own free will, truly, that would be wonderful.
Hello there. I was just thinking about finding a patch of grass to lie down if you don't need me for anything. Sure. Got anything on your mind? Talking about the weather is usually a great way to get a conversation going, but it seems like the weather here is always the same. I see. So the keeper of this place is a teapot spirit. When I first arrived, I'd actually mistaken her for one of those large finchbill pets. Yeah, you're right. Speaking of which, I actually made a similar mistake when I was young. I once thought that melazines were the form that sea hares took when they hopped onto land. It wasn't until I read some books that I realized just how silly I was. You should know that according to laws and regulations, melazines are also recognized citizens of Fontaine. It is forbidden to view or treat them as pets or monsters. Good. That makes for one less legal trouble you may get yourself into. Although it'd be great to have more people working in the fortress, I've never been interested in instigating crime. It's my hope that people will use more legitimate channels to find work in the Fortress of Meripede. There's no need to cause headaches for the upstanding ladies and gentlemen of the Pele Mermonia. Hello there. I was just thinking... I'd like to take a quick walk around here. Would you mind? That would have been true if we were elsewhere. Making sure my surroundings are safe is essential. But this is your home. We don't have to worry about danger here, right? I'm curious, that's all. I just want to take a walk around this vast, miraculous place as if I were a tourist. Wait, really? So as long as you wish it, you can visit each of the 7 nations without ever having to step outside. Well, opportunities like that don't just come by every day. If you want something, you should try your best to fight for it. Wouldn't you agree? And I would be ever so grateful. Obviously, I'm also aware that there's no such thing as a free lunch. So, if you are ever in need of my help, don't let anything hold you back. We will always welcome you at the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, with that said, I hope you won't be coming down because of a new sentence.
They say that people who have lost their sense of joy are like withered flowers. I, of course, must continue to blossom for as long as possible. So it falls to you to entertain me with a thrilling conversation. A chat, you say? A simple word, but a fascinating idea. Through the power of words, people who are worlds apart can come to understand one another's innermost thoughts. But conversations can come with a great risk as well. The deeper you let someone in, the more deeply they can wound you. That's why people are just as afraid of intimacy as they are of being alone. Hey, I just gave a very moving speech. Is that all you can say? When one is blessed with both beauty and depth as I am, one naturally has many musings on the vicissitudes of life. All the best moments in opera are grounded in real-life observation. I didn't mean that. It popped into my head, that's all. People are just as afraid of intimacy as they are of being alone. And I thought, wow, that's a good line. Surely you've had that before too. You know, where you really want to say something profound that makes everyone go, wow, that was deep. Good. I appreciate your honesty. All it means is that you're well suited to stand under the spotlight. I've played so many solo performances in the past that I've gotten a bit bored of them. Why don't you join me? We can be a protagonist duo and expand our repertoire. Let me think for a second. What shows are popular right now that have a good role for you? Oh, I know! I saw a pretty decent opera the other day. Why don't we practice a few scenes together? Come on, I'll do your makeup. We'll make it a dress rehearsal. They say that people who have lost I, of course, must continue to blossom for as long. There are probably as many things that I want to do right now as there are stars in the sky. I think my top priority, though, would be to add some more furnishings to this place. Hey, don't be upset. I never said there was anything wrong with this place as it stands. However, pretty furnishings are like extra outfits in the wardrobe. You can never have too many of them. That's especially true for tea parties.
You've got to switch up the furnishings and decorations every now and then to keep things fresh and new. A lot of people might say that it's best to stick to what's tried and tested, but I think it's possible to respect tradition while trying something new at the same time. Well, when it comes to things I'm interested in, I don't mind putting in the time to become the most knowledgeable person in the topic. Anyway, since I brought up the idea of getting some more furnishings, let me provide the funds. Don't worry, Serenitea Chevalmoran hasn't approached me about my overspending so far this month, which means I still have plenty of more left in my private reserve. I just mean my savings from my performance fees. I thought I'd mentioned it to you before, no? I've done the occasional paid performance over the past few centuries, and it all added up, so I do have some personal savings. I turned the whole pot over to Serenitea Chevalmoran to manage. She's a lot better at investments and trading than me. I shouldn't have to worry about my finances for quite some time. So even though Serenitea Chevalmoran makes a budget for me each month, it doesn't matter if I spend a little extra now and then.
This makes me feel like I'm back in the dorms at the Special Patrol headquarters. All that's missing is the clothes hanging on the backs of the chairs, the half-empty coffee cups, and of course, all my teammates looking ready to pass out after an intense day.
Let's ride!
This teapot is so much bigger on the inside. I can't believe it. Thank you for inviting me. It's always nice to broaden one's horizons. I find it quite splendid. In my line of work, I'm lucky if I get to spend a couple months out of the whole year in such comfortable surroundings. I can certainly think of several examples that fit that description. There was the time we had to dive into icy water during the dead of winter to intercept some smuggling ships. Or when we carried out a search for several days straight with no sleep to apprehend a fugitive. Luckily, the thick soles on our shoes make them extremely durable. Then, of course, there was also the time during the summer when we had to hide ourselves in some bushes along a river while we waited to ambush a suspect. There were a lot of poisonous insects around the river at that time of year, with bites that can be quite deadly. But most insect repellents have a pungent odor that, if used, would have exposed our position. So, all I could do was advise the members of my platoon to keep their skin covered and remain in position until the suspect emerged and began to trade the stolen goods for Mora. In the end, we managed to apprehend the suspect and the goods. But a few members of my platoon passed out from heat stroke and were indisposed for quite some time. That's a given. I am the captain, after all. But the number of guards that have been injured in the line of duty has been increasing lately. I should submit a request to the Maison Gardiennage to increase compensation for injured guards.
Look at that! Beautiful! It's just like an oil painting. So colorful. Certain colors evoke particular flavors very strongly. For instance, just a glimpse of the blue and green hues of mint in the distance feels crisp and refreshing, while the glossy orange of buell fruit is intrinsically sharp and sweet. Then there's your hair color. Oh, not that I'm gonna gobble you up. I just mean, up close you give off a unique, glorious radiance, both visually and in terms of your energy.
They say that people who have lost their sense of joy are like withered flowers. I, of course, must continue to blossom for as long as possible. So it falls to you to entertain me with a thrilling conversation. I like it a lot. The view here is amazing wherever you look, and the weather is quite pleasant. One would be hard-pressed to find a better location for a vacation. I had no idea that you'd purchased such an enormous plot of land. And it's amazing what you've done with the place. You must have put a lot of time and thought into it. Oh, I remember now. Some kind of mystic art from Liyue, was it? However did they do it? I'd really love to take this teapot apart and learn more about it. Although, I'm not too confident that I'd be able to put it back together correctly afterwards. On second thought, forget I said anything. This place is truly fascinating. It seems to be brimming with infinite possibilities. The only downside is how quiet and secluded it is. Don't you ever get lonely living here by yourself? There must be a way you could liven things up a little here. Oh, yes! How about hosting a ball here? I'm sure Fontaine's social elite would jump at the chance to fraternize with you. They'd flock here in droves, and everyone would be singing and dancing to their heart's content. Oh, I see. Then, in that case, let's organize a smaller scale private dance. You don't need to invite throngs of people or put up fancy decorations. We can simply let the world be our stage and dance whenever and wherever the mood takes us. Well, come on, don't just stand there. Take some initiative. 'Twould be my pleasure. You do know how to dance, don't you? All right, just take my hand. Now, relax your arms a little and stand with your feet shoulder-width apart. Once we start, just follow my lead and you'll be fine. Don't worry, I'm the brightest star in all of Fontaine. You're in good hands.
It's my turn to play the guest, I see. A novel turn of events. I shall follow your lead and play the good visitor. Thank you for inviting me to this realm. This has proved a fine vacation spot. Is a transfer of ownership on the cards by any chance? No need to startle. This is a quiet and secure location, shielded from outside disturbances. It would make for a good backup base. Any object that could solve many problems is worth paying a fair price for. An unfortunate answer, but not an unexpected one. This resembles a home more than it does a base. Let us keep it that way, then. Is something the matter? A fine suggestion. This place is sufficiently large for a family gathering. The children will be glad to have the chance to visit and play at a friend's place. It is agreed, then. As for the costs of this gathering, simply leave it to me. It's my turn to play the guest, I see. I shall follow your lead. That seems agreeable. Is there anything you would like to discuss? The children often say so too. I am not sure what to say to Father, what sort of topic I should go with. I hear such discussions often. In truth, talking to me is not very difficult. I can make conversation on most topics. This is quite a specific engineering question. Your interest is unexpected. The internal structure of an aquabus contains a number of intricate clockwork components, which allow it to be powered by different energy sources. I've also heard that during the aquabus's initial trial run, some passengers sent in feedback indicating that they would prefer a more unique look for the vessel. Some suggested that the vessels adopt an angelic sea hare-like design, but this was rejected due to the considerations for the vehicle's overall capabilities. If you would like to hear more about the history of the aquabus, I could arrange for a friend from the Fontaine Research Institute to explain it to you. During a boat ride, of course. Is there anything else you'd like to ask? But of course, finding common topics and ground are indispensable assets in building interpersonal relations. The work of intelligence gathering merits preparation, but it would be unwise to pin all one's hopes on intel. As such, I try to dabble in as many fields as I can to gain more knowledge. Just the opposite. The more I learn, the more clearly I see how the world operates, and the easier it becomes to lead an elegant life. You must first take care of yourself before caring for others. Knowledge and skill broaden your options. If you have something you wish to share, feel free to come look for me. As long as nothing confidential is involved, I'm sure it will make for a wonderful chat. It's my turn to... I shall follow your... That seems agreeable. The children often... I am not sure what... In truth, talking to me is not very difficult. I can make conversation on most topics. The Unexpected Dream, you mean? I found it a mature production. A tale about love that blossomed through all manner of strange coincidences and circumstances. I watched the premiere. The actors were not sufficiently rehearsed, and incidents you'd expect from an unpolished production did occur, but the audience laughed and cheered them on all the same. That is indeed the case. If you are familiar with opera, you should know her. She was the protagonist in Maritime Romance as well. You could say that she's at the peak of her career right now. The fourth run of performances should start the day after tomorrow. If you're interested, I can invite you to come along. Is there anything else you'd like to ask? But of course, the work of intelligence gathering may... Just the opposite. You must first... If you have something you... It's my turn to play. I shall follow your lead. That seems agreeable. The children often... I am not sure what... In truth, talking to me is not very difficult. Ah, it appears you quite enjoyed my choice of desserts for Miss Verina's table. There are many tricks to choosing treats. The key is having a sufficient understanding of everything. The varieties of the treats, their stores of origin, the artisanship of their creators, as well as how they're plated and presented. Each of these factors builds upon the others. Still more intelligence is required if you are making this purchase on the behalf of another. Their personalities, relationships, current situations, and long-held preferences. There is no one-size-fits-all answer. A novice would find it difficult, yes, but experience is cumulative. Start at buying gifts for friends, and go from there. Is there anything else you'd like to ask? But of course, the work of intelligence gathering, just the opposite. You must first take... If you have something you... It's my turn to play. I shall follow your... The weather is good, as is the wind. Let us go for a walk. There are two sights I enjoy more than most. The sea by day, and the skies by night. When I need to think, the former would be my choice. If I am in a good mood, then I will favor the latter. I've rarely seen a Fontainian, native or adopted, not profess a fondness for the waves. It is full of mystery and peril, but also accepts all manner of wishes. Furthermore, the sea is vast, vast enough to serve as a repository for many kinds of frustrations. No, I meant something more literal than that. Namely, that the sea can make things that disgust you disappear, never to emerge again. It is good for secrets that should never see the light of day to sink to the forgotten depths. Only when your gaze can pierce through the sea's shimmering surface and look into its frigid depths will you truly understand the truth of this world. It's my turn to play the game. I shall follow your lead. The weather is good. There are two sights. When I need to think, the former would be my choice. If I am in a good mood, then I will favor the latter. I suppose I could share a story from a long time ago. When I was young, I once had a dream. In it, I stood on a vast plain with a red moon hanging in the sky. The moon rotated gradually, and as I stared at it, it too watched me silently. I cannot describe what it was like to be the object of its gaze, so filled with death and grief. Or was it fear and pity? It has been too long, and my memories of it have faded. I wish to know as well, but the truth will not simply present itself to me. Perhaps I shall one day witness that dreamscape once more. Or perhaps I never will. Just as you and I may cross blades one day. Or perhaps our relations will remain ever amiable. The allure of the future lies in its uncertainty. Regardless, let us lay our worries aside and enjoy this fine breeze.
Very meticulous, down to the last detail. This is on par with the Hotel de Boer. A clean and tasteful dining environment can do a lot to improve people's appetite. What's the next step? Ambush some big shot chef and convince them to come cook for you? Wait, hold on. Am I the one being ambushed? All right, deal. Suits me anyway. Give me a call when you're hungry and I'll whip you up a feast. The air here is so peaceful and calming. If we put on a slow concerto right now, I'm sure the condenser would be brimming with inspiration. You know, it almost feels like coming home. No picky customers, no reputation to uphold. Here, I can cook whatever I feel like. It's a nice chance to try out some new things from my list. Just to be clear, you are going to set me up with a purpose-built kitchen here, right? Don't worry, I'll make sure it's worth your while. In Fontaine, I have hundreds of rich and famous people offering handsome sums of more on a daily basis, hoping for the chance to add just one exquisite dish to their family feast. I don't even have the time to turn them all down. Some of the letters I get go unopened and unread. But you, on the other hand, all you need is to provide an oven, a stovetop, a cupboard, and a water source. I've brought all the cooking utensils and ingredients that I need. No one else in all of Fontaine, or even all of Tavat, could hope for the special treatment I'm offering you. And all I ask in lieu of a salary is that you give me a thorough and honest review of each dish once you've had the pleasure of consuming it. Oh, don't worry. I trust you. You have good taste. And I have full confidence in our culinary compatibility. So you set up the kitchen however you like. Once I get to work, I'll be right in my element. You and I are like Lumideuse bells and rainbow rose foam. One tender and delicate, the other sweet and sour. A perfect combination. I know if I cook for you based on gut instinct, you'll like what I come up with. The air here is so peaceful and calming. If we put on a slow concerto right now, I'm sure the condenser would be brimming with inspiration. All right, good night. I'm gonna wait till you're soundly asleep and then start cooking. Whichever dish smells good enough to coax you out of your dream state and back to reality, that'll be our main course for tomorrow.
If the world could be likened to a stage, then everyone must find their own place. I believe myself better suited to the audience stands. What about you? Would you sit by my side? Or would you prefer to take the stage? Many see me as a solitary, mysterious person. In truth, I do not mind mingling with the crowd. People watching is also one of my interests. Of course, whether those in the crowd would enjoy seeing me is a completely different matter.
This realm is truly beginning to thrive. I cannot help but be stirred.
Parents always say, no matter how busy life gets, you should always sit down and enjoy a proper meal when you get hungry. What I like to do.
Running late again.
Good. Each book is neatly in its place. The spines are facing out. Books with a similar theme are grouped together. And there's not a single banned volume to be seen. Wait, are some of them crooked? Ugh. I must correct this at once.
Hello. It's nice and quiet here. Thank you for inviting me. Sure, if you're mentally prepared. But before you say anything, I'm not very interested in small talk. If you need something, just get to the point. As for whether I'll help, it'll depend on the situation. Is it? I don't think I'd gain experience this valuable from standard social interactions. But now, you've learned something by interacting with me. Congratulations. Hello. It's nice and... I already do what I want every day, so I can't think of a substantial answer to that question right away. I'm content with things as they are now. Oh, do I give you that kind of impression? Very well then. I don't like having my hands full. It interferes with my thinking process. But that reminds me. I need to make myself look like I'm always occupied, so I can avoid things I don't want to do and people I don't want to interact with. You, on the other hand, have a vast social circle, so you must run into difficult people quite often. I suggest that you ask them a few questions that they'll never find exact answers to. Once you divert their attention and energy into other matters, they should leave you alone rather quickly. Don't mention it. To some extent, I want everyone to lead the lives they want to live. That way, people will cause fewer headaches for each other. I figure most people would think similarly. Wouldn't it be great to live in a world without annoyances?
Carving waves!
Resting here brings back a lot of memories. I travel a lot for work. Sometimes I have to camp or lodge in a village. It was an unfamiliar experience at first, but I got used to it. Looking back now, I can hardly believe how long I've been with the mantra.
Off we go! Need a surfboard? people.
Let's ride!
Hurry up, Brassa! Off we go.
Need a surfboard?
I'll admit, it's cozy here, but there's not a whole lot to do. I'm already getting bored. Oh? Look who finally showed up. Any chance you've got an exciting gig for me? Gladly. Beats standing here twiddling my thumbs. Hey, do you know about the saltwater lakes in the desert? Not exactly. Saltwater lakes usually appear farther inside the desert. According to some very tall tales, they're believed to be Al-Ahmar's blessings. Legend has it that when his followers got lost in the desert, Al-Ahmar would command the underground rivers to rise to the surface, forming lakes for the trapped to quench their thirst. But it's just an urban legend. The water in saltwater lakes does originate from groundwater, but it's too bitter to be used for drinking. Besides, these lakes only exist for a short time before they're buried by sand, so you can't use them as landmarks. I heard that the Adventurers Guild did once receive a commission related to saltwater lakes. As for what the commission was about, I guess some outlanders who were visiting Sumeru wanted to visit the desert and see these lakes for themselves. So they hired a group of experienced guild adventurers to escort them through the desert. After that, well, some say the Adventurers Guild has never accepted similar commissions ever since. I'll admit, it's cozy. You mean here? I can't think of anything in particular. If I had to pick something, I guess I'd like to explore this place thoroughly. I mean, this is my first time inside a teapot. I doubt anyone would believe me if I told them. Maintain my weapons, check my next job, sneak in a quick nap. If there's still time to burn, I'll grab a few drinks at the city tavern, but I usually don't have that much free time. That's life for you. Everyone's stressed out one way or another, and there's no escaping it. Even more so for mercs. We're looking for our next job before we even finish our current one. With so many competitors in this line of work, laziness will only net you an empty stomach. Okay, enough serious talk. Days off are few and far between, so it'd be a waste not to unwind while I still can. Why don't you show me around and introduce me to the others here? Especially that little bird named Tubby. Looks like she has her own teapot. What's up with that?
Wow, wow, wow. You've got yourself a pro-grade grill right there. Temperature, rotation speed, it all looks pitch perfect. Ah, I've got it. How about we use these spices, grill up some steaks, and stuff them in a wrap? Whenever I go to the Grand Bazaar, I head straight to the food stalls, grab some snacks and a drink, and then I take my time checking the place out. But some shops are off limits if you have your hands full. A carpet shop, for example. How about this? We split the snacks. That way, we can finish them off quickly and then get shopping. Hello there. It's nice to see you again. Sweet spot you got here. Thanks for inviting me. Sure do. It's great. I'd like to think I'm a flexible guy who can adapt to any environment. Never mind one as pleasant as this. I can tell. Some people like to go out and have fun. Others prefer to create a comfy space for themselves at home, where they can enjoy some peace and quiet. People enjoy life in different ways, but both approaches are equally valid. You know, this place is real roomy. There are houses and buildings, sure, but there's also lots of open space. You could build a bunch of different areas, each with a unique design. That way, it'd feel like we were camping in a new place every night. I'd even help out if you wanted. Truth is, I'm fully furnished with ideas as we speak. Hello there. It's nice to see. Sweet spot you got. Morning. Today's a new day. Let me think. Should I scout out a new hiking route or just find somewhere to camp nearby?
Ah, you're back. Be sure to get ample rest before your next adventure. At first, I couldn't get used to how quiet it is here. There's no howling desert wind or sound of bugs skittering in the rainforest. When you're trying to get sleep, it's so quiet and peaceful that you almost start wondering whether it's even real, which makes it hard to relax. Yes, I just tell myself that I'm on a vacation and that I shouldn't worry about what's going on anywhere else. Though, of course, before bed every night, I still reflect on my previous battles and review what I've learned. Don't worry. I feel much more relaxed now than I was at the academia. The point of rest is to relieve the stress and fatigue you've built up. It doesn't mean completely changing who you are. I really like it here. It's a place where I can finally enjoy a moment of peace. I'll use this time to revitalize myself and prepare for the next time I need to administer judgment.
Very diverse range of plants you have here. Clearly you have a keen interest in botany. Excellent. If nurtured, a budding interest can become a fruitful source of knowledge. In fact, why don't you tell me about each of these species? Their growth habits, preferences, etc. Don't worry, I'm here to fill in anything you leave out. I have a feeling it'll stick in your memory this time. This cabin looks very familiar indeed. I see you've been treating our excursions as an opportunity to admire the scenery in quite some detail. Just being here makes me want to start planning my schedule. Force of habit, I suppose. Well, there's plenty of space. Would you like to sit with me and try your hand at writing something yourself? Hello there. I could hear you coming from miles away. This place has a peaceful environment and a wonderful view. Very pleasant. Perhaps a little too pleasant. Look, I've already mapped out an itinerary of my stay. Half and half. I'm just wandering around here and there, observing various flora, as I always do. This is equal parts research and normal life. But I should probably take a more relaxed approach while I'm here. I'll only plan 60% of my typical itinerary. Should you need me, come find me anytime. Hello there. I could hear you coming. You aren't asleep yet. If you're still awake at this hour, then how about I borrow you as my research assistant?
This realm is truly beginning to thrive. I cannot help but be stirred. If you ever have any...
There was a time when all I wanted was to learn everything there was to know. Explore every corner of the universe. Witness all kinds of strange creatures and natural phenomena. And although that desire is long gone, the sight of this carefully curated collection does make me a little nostalgic. Perhaps I should meditate here. Might be more soothing for both my mind and body. This place has some similarities with the Abyss. A fully independent realm, separated from the outside world. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to stay a while. Make sure you leave plenty of open space for me to use. That way, I won't run the risk of damaging the landscape or buildings during my sword practice. I can't quite get used to it. The level of abyssal energy in Tavad is quite low, but here it's even lower still. It makes it hard for me to replenish the energy lost from training. Of course, it's well within my abilities to connect this place directly to the Abyss, but I'm sure you'd rather keep things peaceful and quiet here. No need to worry. spending some time here isn't without its benefits. I'll just treat it as a rehearsal. We don't always get to pick where we fight our battles. Sometimes we have to fight in conditions that don't suit us. In a similar vein, Master once told me that we can't rely on one form of power forever. If losing one source of power reduces you to a helpless heap, then you never deserved that power to begin with. This place may slowly drain the abyssal power from my body, but in exchange, I can hone my swordsmanship in a purer form. In that sense, it benefits me. So, despite not being used to it, I'm quite happy to stay here a while longer. Huh. This place has some similarity, I suppose. I can see the fatigue in your face. Go get some rest.
Hello! If you'd like to speak with me, then you'll have to cough up some Mora first. Just kidding, just kidding! I just wanted to see how you'd react, that's all. Good morning, my young apprentice. A successful day starts with the morning. That Mora's not gonna earn itself after all. So come on, let's get moving. This realm is truly beginning to thrive.
Hey, you're here! Finally! Welcome to Stronghold numero 2 of the Arataki gang! Hey, perfect timing! Hey, there's something I need to talk to you about. Something important. Has to be face to face. So, this, Adventurers Guild, what kind of things do they do? And which tasks do you normally take? Ha, me? No way. You gotta be there, what, every other day? They seem to work you pretty hard, so I'm gonna put my boys on the case. Many hands make light work and all that, you know?
Wait, what do you mean, oh right? Oh, come on, that's hurtful. Where's the enthusiasm? Next time, I don't want to hear, oh right, Ito wants to help. I want to hear, darn right, Ito wants to help. Got it? I see you as a member of the Arataki gang. You do know that, don't you? Every single member of my gang is like family to me. And, you know, same goes for you. That makes this a family matter, you get it? Which means leave it to Ito. Don't you worry now, I've got your back wherever you go. Whether you're cruising the city or wandering the wilds, my boys will be there. Except only in Inazuma. How am I supposed to protect you if you leave? Guess it's time for the Arataki gang to start expanding into other nations. That's the spirit. That's what makes you part of my crew. Well, guess that settles it then. When I'm not around, promise me you'll carry on being a champ and living life to the max. And when I say being a champ, that means kicking some serious butt, all right? I don't care if you're playing card games or you're brawling, no losing, not to anyone.
A quiet tea house is the perfect place to unwind. Of course, I'm referring to a quiet ambiance rather than complete silence. Gentle, soothing music played at just the right volume can do wonders for the spirit. You know, this is an excellent place for guided meditation. That's a conventional treatment in my line of work. So here, take a seat, let go of your troubles, and I will help you relax.
Hello. One moment, please. If I had known you'd pay me a visit, I would have spent more time getting ready.
Would you like to exchange views on the art of tea making? In other words, do you want to try my homemade matcha? I have read in a book before that Mondstadt and Liyue each have their own unique tea cultures. But when it comes to the intricacies of tea making, the people of Inazuma also have their insights. I'd like you to try some authentic Inazuma matcha and tell me what you think. Perhaps your feedback will also deepen my understanding of the tea ceremony. Please don't say that. You're the one who's embarked on epic journeys to distant places and achieved many great feats. The title of the daughter of the Kamisato clan and involvement in the Yashiro Commission pales in comparison to the depths of your experiences. More importantly, I hope that between the two of us, we need not be concerned with our identities. I'll just think of you as my closest confidant. Can I hold your hand? Hello. One moment, please. If I had known you'd pay me a Good morning. With a cerulean sky and chirping birds accompanying you today, I'm certain you will have a pleasant journey.
Oh, wow! Looks like you're already an expert in Inazuman open-air hot springs. The temperature of the water, the shape of the stone statues, the trees and flowers around the pool, even the placement of the folding screens. Everything is just perfect. You might consider becoming a stakeholder in Isa Bathhouse. If you choose to invest, we could be business partners. Comfortable, yet elegant. Cozy, yet full of life. You managed to achieve a wonderful balance in this space. You must have put a lot of thought into it. Perhaps it's a style all your own. I love it. It feels just like home. I've spent quite a bit of time in other nations, so I'm used to many different aesthetics. But that's not why this place feels so comforting. Perhaps you haven't noticed, but as a well-traveled individual, your wealth of diverse experiences have subconsciously shaped your idea of home. As you decorated this space, those subconscious ideas likely guided your decisions. Almost like a form of inspiration, if you will. Similarly, another area influenced by our subconscious is the wondrous and mystifying realm of our dreams. Oh, that was fast. So what is your interpretation? Close, but not quite. Simply put, to a certain extent, this place is a reflection of your hopes and desires, and things we wish for are very likely to appear in our dreams. So, in that sense, this place is like a preview of your dreams, an area that is very familiar to me, of course. If I analyze this place, I bet I could even learn a little secret or two. Perhaps. It's a... Sweet dreams.
Not too long ago, I dreamed of a place much like this. Ever since I mastered the way of rationality, I've forbidden myself from dreaming. All it does is hinder my recovery from training. Yet on occasion, the dreams still come without warning. Sometimes even rationality cannot fully suppress projections of the subconscious mind. If I'm honest, what I desire right now is to stay and rest for a while in this tranquil place.
Running late again.
This is a truly exceptional design. The architectural style borrows from the Tri-Commission mansions, and the general arrangement is very aesthetically pleasing. The familiar environment makes me feel right at home, and good company only adds to the exquisiteness of the occasion. truly delightful.
Strength.
Ah, this reminds me of when Ayaka was young, and we would visit the festival together. It's immaculate. Even I, as Yashiro Commissioner, cannot find any fault with the way you have designed this place. Since it's just the two of us here, shall we take a stroll together?
Time to roll! Heads up!